Hey YouTubers, thanks for watching and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing the brakes on the T32 X Trail. So front brakes in this video, and I'll be just going through the steps. So first up, I've already got it jacked up. So actually about taking off the wheel, and just from a axle stand point of view, I've gone with just under the subframe there. So I've already given it a bit of a rinse off. I'm now going to give it a bit of a clean just to get some of the brake dust off and just give it a bit of an inspection. So I'll be spraying it with a couple of things, so a bit of degreaser and a little bit of barbecue oven cleaner just to get that brake dust off. And then we're going to be putting these RDA GP Max Gen 3s on today. We'll see how those go, just take you through the steps and the spanner sizes. First up on the wheel nut size, so that's a 21mm, got my special socket there. Got those off already. Got the jack and the mats ready to go, and we'll be getting into this. I think the plan of action will be just take the whole caliper off. I'll check the pins, grease the pins with the grease that came. Looks like that's going to be probably a 14, and get in there, clean that all up, get those pads out and just see what's going on. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so we've got it all cleaned up quite a lot better now, and I've just loosened these off with this 14. So I'm just going to take this bottom one out. I'll just get some gloves on, take this bottom one out, lift this caliper up and over, and get these old pads out. They're not too bad, they've got about 4mm, but I thought it was worth changing them, just so we don't get any disc scoring going on. The discs themselves, not too bad, a little bit of lipping, top and bottom, but nothing really to worry about. This car's currently done 54,000 kilometers, about 40,000 miles. And still in pretty good nick for a 2014, so coming up 10-year-old car. Okay, so let's get the caliper off, make sure we don't put too much strain on the brake line there. I think we'll put the caliper up on top of the arm there and have a look and maybe give it another quick wash. Okay, so we've got the caliper off and cleaned up, just give that another quick wash. The pins, just check the pins, you can strip them down and grease them if you want, but these are actually in really good nick, and I don't think I've got any water inside those. Piston I'm just going to push in a moment, but before that, just to show you, this is the anti low brake pad wear warning system, and this is a metal clip. I didn't notice this on the back pads, but I'll have a look at those and maybe fix one of those up, because this clip goes from the old pad and it just unhooks, was hooked onto this little feature that's on the pad. Pretty smart design, and you can just reuse those. So that one's still in perfect good nick, and that was on the inside pad, so that's going to go in there like that in the moment. So I'm going to get these pads in, just clip them over these metal springs so they go in to get the right one, just on that pin, so that pin's pulling the pad outwards as it's in, and obviously the pad goes that way around on the disc, circular. So we'll get those on. The shims on the old pads, they're a bit more fancy, so we've got a rubber and we've got a stainless steel loose pad on the back, and then on the new pads we've just got the rubber, double-sided rubber on stainless steel. Okay, so let's get those in and together and get the other side cleaned up, and then we'll see how we go. Okay, so I've got the clamp on, and just with mine, because of the pot, I've put a pad in there just to squeeze the piston back. One thing I always look out for is that the brake fluid's not going to come out the top of the master cylinder. We'll be changing the brake fluid in a moment, so we'll get those levels right. But just once that pad compressor has had a chance to, piston compressor has had a chance to push on that pad there, then we can safely say we're ready to go. Now I did get the old air bulge on the top of the piston there, and I put the screwdriver in just gently underneath the seal just there, just to lift that up and let that air out, so you might have that same problem. That piston's fully in now and we should be good to go. Got the pads in, ready to go, and just going to be checking those springs, make sure they're good. And you can see there the anti-wear device, they're good to go. Okay, let's get the pads in, get the caliper back on. Okay, now because I had the lithium grease, I did decide to just put a little bit on these pins and just check these pins. So the seals just pop off the end of the pin. Trying to make sure there's definitely no corrosion in there and no water's got in there. The bottom pin is a little different. It's got this little rubber block on it, and that's kind of an anti-vibration maybe, or an anti-rattle pin. So just get those back in, push them back in, and make sure that the seal's gone back all the way around like that, and they'll be good to go. Okay, there we go. They'll be good to go, and get that caliper back on. Okay, let's get the caliper together, and then I'm going to put a little bit of this Loctite 222 on the pins. There was nothing on there before, but never hurts just to have a bit of anti-undoing this on the pins, and it'll be good for this side. Get on with the other side. Okay, so just a couple of things on the left. This was the position that the spring clip was on, so I'm putting that back in the same place. So that's on the inside upper of the pad as it goes back on the car like that, and just clip that on. And as you can see here, we've got the air bubble, so we'll just see if we can just do this while you're watching. So I'm just pushing the screwdriver just gently under the seal there, just trying to release the pressure. I might need to put my thumb on it. There we go. And that seal's gone back just enough so that the new pad will just go on there just nicely. Okay, we'll get the head clamp off. Same as on the other side. Just drain that water out of there, and then get this one assembled the same. Again with a bit of thread lock on those bolts, and then we'll torque them up and then get this all back together. And then we can move on to the brake bleeding. Okay, so front brakes all back together, so now I'm going to move on to the bleeding. So might stop this video here. If you've enjoyed that, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe or give a like, and we'll get on to the brake bleed.